Hi, everyone. We are going live in my group on Facebook, Intuitive Angel Messages. If you'd like to come and join us, we like to go live once a week on Sundays, usually, but sometimes other days. I am Kristin Davies, medium Kristin Davies, and I have my special guest with me, Beth Odom. Woohoo! Are you excited?
I am so excited.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about our experiences with Mother Mary and our visitations with her visiting us and introducing herself to us. And of course, we're going to be listening into some of your guys's commentary on what you feel when Mother Mary is around too. So, yay, everybody's coming on. There's Rita, there's Eileen, Lisa, and Muriel. I love it. So we're really pumped and excited. It's a very peaceful feeling, but also a very excited feeling from Mother Mary. I feel like a lot's going to come through today, if that makes any sense.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She's been excited about this. She's ready to go.
Yeah, and she's been with you a lot, hasn't she?
Unknowingly, yes, she has been, but now I'm very aware of her presence.
Yeah, yeah. And so she's just been visiting and chatting, and this all kind of came to head when we were in the Mediumship for Beginners course or no, it was the Mediumship 102 course, wasn't it? In February.
I
And
kind of did it backwards, yes.
yeah, yeah, you did. And so we were going live and practicing, you, me, and Twyla, and in came Mother Mary, and it was really strong. It was such a magical experience, wasn't it? It was like incredible.
It was literally heart stopping for me for her to come in the way that she did. I mean, she honored Twyla the way that she did, and then me then finding out that what she wanted to do with me through me was amazing.
It
I'll
was
never forget those
magic.
words.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I felt like time stopped and it was very magical and peaceful and so heart centered that we were tearing up. It
We
was,
were all crying.
yeah, you couldn't help yourself because she's just pure light and love.
Mhm.
I mean, and have you always connected with Mother Mary in like a spiritual sense or like a religious sense or?
I think all my life I've always been on the quest for a connection with Mother Mary, Jesus, God, but never quite knowing what direction I needed to go to make that connection. So it's been a life journey. So I've done the religious side. I was doing the spiritual, but just didn't know which direction it was going to happen in.
And then learning in the mediumship courses just how to follow the signs with the different clairs. What are your strongest clairs? And how to open those, and then how to follow that lead, and then have that open even further. That's so helpful, isn't it?
It is, and you don't really even realize what your clairs are until you kind of start playing with them. Because it's like I knew that I felt things, like, but I didn't know there were energies. I just thought it was things.
Yeah,
And then you
give
find
you
out it's
an idea of what that was.
right. And then when you start realizing, oh, these energies are beings and ascended masters and angels and archangels and holy cow, Mother Mary,
Trying to talk to me.
right.
What do they want to say?
It opens an entirely different world to you. And it answers so many questions I had all my life. So that was kind of how the relationship evolved over to Mother Mary.
And for anybody that's kind of watching right now and noticing, we have this white light that's happening with you, but we don't know how that's kind of reflecting right now. It could be the light through the window, could be. But you don't have a candle in front of you, you don't have a
I
ring light in
don't.
front of you, and we just can't quite figure out why that's there.
Yeah, I put my finger on the camera and it just apparently
Yeah,
needs to be
she's
here.
turned on. It's just there. We don't know what that is.
Yeah.
So if anybody's like, hey, so, my experience was not religious. I remember being made to go to church when I was a little kid when my mom sent me off to a
Mhm.
babysitter with my sister. And over the summer months, on Sundays when my mom had to go into work, we went to church. So there was probably a handful of times. And I thought, what is this? And so I didn't have anything to gauge it by because nobody kind of showcased this to me other than going to the babysitters and showing up. And I remember getting in trouble for saying the F word in church. And I thought, oh, okay, so I guess I can't do that. And, Sunday school. And I was like, hmm. And so I'm one to always kind of follow my intuition ever since I was little. That's my strongest clair, is feeling in the body, internal guidance system, gut instinct, intuition. And then my second strongest clair was claircognizance, ideas, information, insights popping into my mind,
Mhm.
thought forms. My angels were busy. Pew, 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 pew. And then I started to develop clairaudience. And then I went into clairvoyance only 3 years ago. So, what I show in these mediumship courses is exactly how the angels have taught me.
Mhm.
And I take it from exactly how they do it, even down to the direction of, grounding, earthing, diet, lifting and raising of vibrational frequency, protection, all of that. I teach exactly how I've been taught, and also how they want me to teach it. So that's how I do things.
Mhm.
So for me, that's important. It was a real eye opener for me when they started to teach me. So when I came across Mother Mary, not interested. She was the soft touch that came before Jesus to warm me up.
Mhm.
She's who stepped forward first and got me adjusted to an ascended master kind of stepping forward and visiting at my friend's house before the door opened and in came Jesus. And that was over months. That wasn't like quick because they knew that I wasn't interested. They already know what we're thinking. They already know what we're feeling. There's nothing they don't know, in fact. And when you have a thought, or if you're talking, that's all energy. Okay, it's like a signal that's sent out, and they can easily pick up on it, no problem. Of course, they're coming in from a very loving, high vibrational vantage point. So they're not coming in and having thought forms like we do. It's much more high vibrational and loving,
Mhm.
and accepting and wonderful. And so I'll just talk about my first visitation with Mother Mary, and then we'll have you just describe yours. I was coming to my friend's house, and I was really noticing Mother Mary's residual energy in her home all the time. And I thought, this is nice. This feels really good. And I remember the statue she had out in her backyard, and I thought, I wonder if that's Mother Mary, but I wasn't entirely sure. And then I remember having dinner at her table with her and her daughter, and Mother Mary was standing at the side of the table. I thought, okay, okay. I didn't say anything to her, but I just thought, okay, she's here at the side of the table. And then she came another time. And I said to my friend at one point, I said, do you like Mother Mary? Do you talk to her or pray to her? And she said, yes. And that is her favorite. And then she went around her house and showed me this little artifact, a little statue of Mother Mary. Then we went outside her front door, and beside her front door was this ceramic carving of Mother Mary's face that I didn't even dawn on. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'd come in her house so many times, and then, and my statue out in the backyard, Kristin, that is also Mother Mary. I was like, oh my gosh, because every time I go out in the backyard, I felt so drawn to the statue. The energy coming from it was amazing. And so I said, because she is so in your house. And I said, it's just amazing. And my friend was like 79, so
Wow.
she'd had her lifetime of chatting with Mother Mary. And I said, wow. And I said, she's visiting us when we're having dinner. And I don't know why. So I thought, that's pretty wild. Well, in comes Mother Mary on round 3 at the dinner table, month and a half later. And she's not alone. She's got Jesus on her right. And I was like, oh God. And they were really focused in on me, and I knew they wanted to talk to me. And I was like, oh no, 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 no. I did not want to talk to them. I was not having it. And it was just my idea of the religious sense of Jesus that was blocking me, and I just was not interested. I've done the Sunday school. I've seen what goes on in church, even funerals, weddings, and a few other visits to church, and it never really resonated with me. It wasn't I had anything against Jesus. I just was like, yeah, no, no, thanks. I'm not having that. And so I remember my friends went into the kitchen. I get up from the table to put, because I know as soon as I get up from this table, Jesus is going to be right on me, right? And I'm kind of stalling. So I'm the last one to get up to take my dish into the kitchen. And he's like right in front of me. And he seemed to me like he was about 5'7", because I'm 5'5.5", and he was about 5'7" energetically. I remember him having a chat with me right in front of my face, and energetically, I was examining how tall his energy was, and I thought, oh, that's interesting. He's only about 5'7". That's
They
what I
say
was
he was
thinking.
short.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about, oh, this is Jesus. Wow. I was like, oh yeah, he's about 5'7". That's the things I think about. And I said, first thing right out in my mind, telepathically, and I know he can hear me. It's like, I don't want to talk to you. That was the first thing out of my mouth. And Mother Mary's quiet, holding space off to the side. And he just said, I'd rather you don't see me in a religious dogma sort of way. I'd like you to see me as a big brother in spirit. And I said, okay, well, I'll think about it, because he wanted to work with me and he wanted to help me. I said, I'll think about it. And I waited for a month thinking about it. And I knew they eased off of me, and they weren't pestering me. They were just letting me think about it. And that was my first visitation with Mother Mary. And as soon as I agreed to work with them, she would come in to work through me, mainly through readings that I offer to help people. But also she will come in with Jesus often. If he's stepping in is Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary behind him, to chat with whomever I'm with. So how about you? What is your first visitation like with Mother Mary?
I didn't realize at first until looking back, my first visitation was when my grandma Goldie passed. She was a big German woman and just was the love of life of everything. I mean, she made everything special for everyone. And she worked at the hospital cafeteria. So she would leave to work at like 3:30 in the morning. She would leave, and my grandpa would, obviously I was kind of woke by them getting ready in the morning. So let me backtrack. I would stay with them during the summertime in Illinois. So they'd get up, I'd kind of wake up, say goodbye to my grandma. They'd put me on the couch, go to sleep. The hospital was like 2 blocks away. And this one morning, my grandma had said to me, honey, when grandpa gets a phone call, don't be afraid. I'll always be with you. I love you, little girl. Don't worry about me. And I was like, okay. And she gave me a big snuggle, which at that time, the brassieres were very pointed, and kind of got a poke in the eye, but it was a big snuggle. And I lay down, went back to sleep, and ended up, Grandpa and I went about our days, had, breakfast, was out in the yard playing. Phone call rang. Grandpa took me next door to the neighbors, and I was playing out in the yard. And all of a sudden, I just kind of got this weird feeling. And I looked up in the clouds, and it was my grandma's face.
Wow.
And it was just her saying, honey, I just wanted to say, I love you very much. I will always be with you. And make sure you give Grandpa a big hug when you see him. And I was like, I was 9 years old.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, Grams. And I went back to playing. Grandpa came back, and he was just tore up in tears and crying. And I gave him a big hug, and I found out she had passed. She had a massive heart attack at work.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm believing that was Mother Mary and Jesus coming through to me.
Wow.
So that was my first experience.
Wow, at age 9.
At age 9.
Wow.
Well, when I went to tell people about it, certain people, of course, were quite open to it. Other people were not quite open to it. So, but that was a question I had throughout my life was, did that really happen? Or did it not really happen? Now I know it did.
Yeah, they can totally get through to us and let us know when people are going to cross over. My grandpa came in my living room and said that his wife, my nana, was going to cross over the next day and don't grieve any longer than about a month. And she did. And I remember just getting that phone call and being just dumbfounded.
Yeah.
And he had come to help me so that I didn't grieve, so it makes it easier for you.
It did, and it was the fact that she was able to say a final goodbye to me and just let me know. So I was upset, obviously,
but you got that goodbye.
I got that goodbye from her, and she was such a special woman. I mean, she was his second wife, but still, she was just, like I said, she was just so wonderful. So, yeah.
And, a lot of us, we feel like we don't get to say goodbye. It's so nice when we do get to say goodbye. But one of the main things I hear when I'm channeling from loved ones on the other side is that the consistency through the readings is that they'd like to cross over without someone watching them or like right by their bedside. They want to go by themselves.
I almost believe that Grandma waited till she got to the hospital because she didn't want to die in front of my grandpa because she knew it would just have killed him.
And it would have been too much for everyone. It's just a bit traumatic, right? But yet you want to be able to say goodbye. But here's the thing, and the beautiful thing is they always say this through the readings. It's just my body that died.
Exactly.
It's just the body that goes. I'm still here. I'm right here. I can hear your thoughts. I can hear what you're saying. I can hear when you call me in or you want to talk to me. And the other thing they always seem to be coming through recently and saying a lot is if you're going about your day and then you think about them or you're drawn to their picture, it's because they're in the room with you and they're projecting themselves into your mind at that moment for you to recognize, this loved one must be here with me in the room because it's coming into my mind right now and I'm getting pulled in this direction. I'm thinking about them out of the blue. You might be driving your car or you might be pulled towards looking at the picture in the room. Yeah, it's really cool. Here is something that someone is typing here. I had a Mother Mary experience. Oh, you had Mother Mary come into a Reiki session you did on a teenage girl with a brain tumor, and you were in complete tears, overcome with emotion coming through. That's amazing. Yeah, there's times where they'll come through like that, and it's all you can do to just hang on. And that's what it was like in the last course that you and I were in.
It was just, yeah. It was everything just to hold on.
The three of us. Oh my God. And everyone watching probably tearing up too. But, it's just an amazing experience to be able to connect with such love. When my angel opened up in front of me and then crossed through my body at the age of 27, there still aren't words to describe what that was like. It was incredible.
It's
Incredible.
it's something that on a natural human side, you can't experience anything like that. It can only be done on this energetic, spiritual side.
Yeah.
So like I said, to be able to experience that is priceless.
Yeah. You know what I asked my angel the other day? I said, was I always meant to be on this path of mediumship? And she said, yes, you were. And I'm like, really? And she's like, yeah, we first had to get you here. Like, I was a
That's
handful, and I was.
that sounds like my mom. I'm also taking Ashley Cunningham's
Yes.
mentorship course,
Oh, yeah, the
and
mentorship program that she's offering. Yeah.
yes,
If
and
you need help with your online business and
business.
developing, yeah,
Hmm.
you can go and check her out at channelingwithlove.com, because how is that going?
Oh, it's put me on the right path of being able to get my page, my group, my everything up and running.
Yeah.
But one of my tasks
Awesome.
was I had to come out of the spiritual closet and tell my mom. So I made the phone call and I got my mom on the phone, and all I could do was literally sit there and laugh. I'm like, Mom, I have to tell you something. And then I just burst out laughing. And she's like, well, honey, what's the matter? I'm like, there's nothing the matter. And I just laughed for another 5 minutes. And I'm like, she's like, well, tell me. And I'm like, I'm a medium. I'm going to be starting to do this and that. And she's like,
Wonderful.
well, honey, I always knew that. I was just
Oh
waiting for
my
you to tell
gosh, she
me. And I'm
said
like,
that.
yes, those were her exact words.
That's
And,
amazing.
and it was hysterical because Ashley and I were joking about it, saying, now watch, this is what she'll say. And it was verbatim of what she said. And I was like, okay, I'm out. I'm good. I can now do it.
Wow. You know, a friend of mine, he's gay. And he's like, I came out of the closet to my cousin. I said, good for you. That's wonderful. I said, how did he take it? And, I'm going off on this conversation about him coming out of the closet being gay. He goes, oh, no, not that. He knows I'm gay. I had to come out of the spiritual closet. Like, the gay part was no biggie. It was the spiritual
The spiritual closet.
closet part I was like laughing, because my mom was the one that really started on this journey, midlife crisis, point 101 at the age of 40. And she was the one that, when I was 21, that kind of took me, and I kind of checked out this psychic one time with this group of people. And I was like, this woman's like full throttle. Just shaking her hand was like getting a energy electrocution up to my armpit. I was like, and she was sussing me out. She was sussing out my energy. She was sussing out, and it was like her energy was shocking me up my arm, right up to up here. And oh, the beam of joy that came over her face. I thought, okay, well, I guess that's a good sign. I was so naive back then. And she looked at my mom and she said, you got back together with your husband to have this one. And I was like, whoa. Because my parents had broken up for 2 years. And it was like,
wow.
you got back together with him to have this child. And I was like, all right, let's tone it down here. So, with the angels, they want us procreating right now. I'll tell you that. And, if you're meant to be having kids, you're going to be having them.
Okay, we just have fur babies. That's all we're having.
Yeah.
No. But it's funny you talk about the shocking, because I can walk anywhere and touch anything. Doesn't have to be metal, plastic, whatever. And I will get that electrical, you can see the electrical connection. Yes, it's crazy.
That's crazy. Awesome.
And it's like, so I'll hit it and it will hurt. And I'm like, so I get now where I'll take like tissue paper and put it on my fingertips so I don't shock everything.
God, to that point.
It's to that point. It's
tissue
crazy.
paper in my pocket just to help me so I don't get shocked.
I don't shock
You must
everything.
be having a lot of energy coming through you.
It is. It's crazy right now. It is crazy.
just before we went live, we were talking about what's happening with your upper chakra since taking the
Mhm.
Mediumship for Beginners course and the 102 course. And now you're coming back into the Mediumship for Beginners course, April 15th till the 30th. If
Yes.
anybody's interested, my website's there. But what's happening with you since taking this last course is you're really noticing this
Mhm.
opening up. And I said to you, are you noticing the light highway that's getting built from your third eye in between the two halves of your brain back to your pineal gland? Because I remember Archangel Michael starting to open that up. Man, that was like 15 years ago for me. And it was like the thickness of a piece of dental floss. And then I said to you, and now it's this big.
And I was so glad that,
Easy for them to communicate because there's a light highway. They just tap into the highway in the brain, and it's just easy to communicate through
and I
us.
was, yeah, and I was so glad that I had heard you say that, because when I started to feel it, it's kind of freaked me out at first, but then I was like, wait a minute, I remember her
Yeah.
talking about this. So I just breathed and trusted, and just, that's all I'm doing, is just trusting everything's happening
It'll
the way it's
just
supposed to.
they'll just come in and start opening it and working on it for about 20, 30 minutes. And you don't quite understand what's going on. They're
Mhm.
opening your upper chakras. They're cracking this open. They're sending light in. They're opening this channel. You might get this opening as they're trying to chat with you. It makes you cough. And
Yes.
there's signs with spirit trying to communicate through you.
Mhm.
Ooh, Twyla's late. You got to go back and watch, Twyla. We were talking about you. Oh man, Twyla, wasn't that amazing in the 102 course when all three of us went live? That's what we were talking about, like how incredible that was with Mother Mary. Yeah, it's just incredible. I mean, honestly.
I think I even I had my cell phone on the table with when we were doing that, and I think I took a screenshot when all of us were crying. It just, I felt compelled to do it. So I
Wow.
captured that moment just for some reason.
It was like she was coming in for you and Twyla.
Hmm.
First Twyla and then you, and it was full on, wasn't it?
Yes.
It was
Hmm.
so, yeah, yeah. Twyla says, "Oh my God, that was LOL." It was so full throttle. You know, I love doing this because I get to bring in these high vibrational beings to help people. And people say, "Oh, Kristin, you do so much for us." I do, but I know what it's like to go through life and not have that support and that connection and that light. And
Hmm.
it's so important to step forward, to offer, to be there. And it's not just about charging, it's also about coming live like this and helping people. We're going to channel Mother Mary a bit for
Hmm.
everybody today. So when it's time, we're going to move in that direction. And oh, wow. I'm translating for Mother Mary in Spanish because she's a devout believer. Oh, for your mother, you're channeling.
Oh.
Oh, in Spanish. And she's a believer in Mother Mary. Isn't that wonderful? Like how does spirit communicate on the other side? Obviously, they're not just sitting there not talking to each other.
Mm-mm.
So how does energy chat with energy? That's what you learn in these courses, right?
It's like you said, it's all energy. And it's interesting because now when I go outside, it's almost like, how like a PowerPoint is, it's got layer upon layer upon layer. It's like I see frequencies now. So it's like a pulse point of energy that I see. And I'll close my eyes and I'll open them again and I'll see a different. So it's really interesting to see.
If you relax your gaze around a plant, you can see the energy of the plant around the
Mhm.
plant. And, when I first started open, I could just see static energy everywhere. And a couple times I've come out and I just see this white glowing haze everywhere. It's going through the buildings, it's source energy. So that's happened telepathically, Twyla. That's right. Everyone on the other side chats with each other telepathically. And let me tell you, they chat so fast, it's like unbelievable. My brain can't keep up with what they're chatting about because
And
they
see,
talk so fast.
I'm almost thinking now that my clairaudient side of it is, that's what's, because I don't think I'm getting downloads, and I don't think I'm getting a message. I almost think that I'm picking up on those conversations.
Because they're
Because
having
it's,
conversations around you.
mhm,
Angels are talking to angels. Spirit guides are chatting to your guardian angels. Sometimes you'll have Jesus come in, and he's probably talking with your guardian angels. And then you're picking up on what they're chatting about. And sometimes I can't because they don't want me to hear it.
right. Yeah, and
Another,
see, yeah, they just cupped my ear, so it's, yeah, there's no breathing, it's just cupped
if you get the
completely.
ear cupping, you've got someone chatting through your ears.
Yeah.
Every time. And actually, I remember being in the middle. I was at a restaurant with a friend of mine, and Mary Magdalene came through to chat with the person in front of me, through me, cupped my ears. I'm like, we're kind of in the middle of a restaurant. They don't
Can I
care where
wait?
you are.
Can I finish
They're
dinner?
observing the conversation. They're like, oh, and Kristin will hear me, and now I'm going to go in and have a chat and add to this conversation. And I'm like, well, pull up a chair, come and have dinner with us.
Exactly.
So sometimes
See.
I have to ask them to slow it down because they can communicate so fast.
Mhm.
Oh, Alyssa says, you're amazing, Beth. I love it.
Oh, that's so
No.
sweet.
So what have you noticed, like before you took the mediumship courses, comparatively to now? What's changed? And did you notice, I often kind of put this out there when the courses first start, that energy starts to work on you while you're in the course. It's like peeling back the layers of an onion, helping to transmute any heaviness, helping to open your channels. And everybody's like, yeah, yeah. And they're like, I'm so tired. I need a nap. I'm like, go have the nap. But you really do shift and change a lot while you're taking the course, energetically and otherwise. So what have you noticed before and after?
Before the course, I was not consciously aware of the energies and how to identify them. Where now I'm able to do, I've got tools to be able to do the yes, no's, the ability to be able to channel and have conversations with the energies. So it's like the journaling, the yes, no's, doing the cards to be able to get some clarifications on what I'm experiencing. Along with the course, we're able to do the practices. So with the practices, you've got classmates that are experiencing the same energy you are, that maybe I'm feeling something, but I don't quite know if it's what I'm really feeling. So I don't want to put it out there. But then I'll see, like in the comments, somebody else is feeling it. And I'm like, oh, wait, I'm right. That is correct.
Great
So you
confirmation.
get that, exactly, you
Feels
get that,
relief.
right. You get that confirmation that other people are feeling it too. So you get that support. And when you then can trust yourself of one, what you're feeling, two, that you're really doing it.
Yeah.
And you know that you get that ego out of your head. I think that's the hardest thing to overcome, and realize that you actually are like an oracle for God or source divine, whatever word you want to put it on.
Light and love.
Exactly.
And you can chat with whoever you want. If you don't want to chat with Jesus, chat with your guardian angels. You don't want to chat with your guardian angels, chat with your grandma. Whoever.
Exactly.
Nobody
Yeah. I
takes
mean,
offense here.
I was cooking spaghetti with my grandma in the kitchen the other night, and I was in there singing and dancing, and my husband's like, comes in, gets some water. He's like, what you doing? I'm like, oh, just cooking dinner with grandma. I mean, it was light and fun and just carefree. And if one person can feel the love and joy that I feel now, this whole video is worth that.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why I do what I do. Because I've seen what it has done for me, and now I'm moving that forward for everybody else.
Exactly. And we so appreciate that too.
Creating that space, and a very high vibrational space. So a lot of people will ask, well, when it's the courses every day? I don't know if I can make it due to my schedule. What would you say to that?
I work a first shift, so I'm 6:30 to 3, and the course is laid out where there's some pre-recorded, but then there's 2 lives every day. So
102. And the beginner's course, there's one live every day.
right. And you can, even if you can't make the live is recorded to a point where you can still do the practice and do it through the comments, where even on the recorded live, you still get response from you or one of the other mediums in it
I always
to
call
your
myself
questions.
alive.
Exactly, yes, because I did one of the live replays, and you commented right away on one of the things I'd made a comment on.
Yeah.
So the course is laid out where even if you can't make it, you're still in a live. It's laid out perfectly. Just trust that the course is laid out perfectly for you in whatever shift you're on, whatever continent you're on.
We try to make it open so that those of you that have a busy schedule, or those of you that are in a different time zone, can participate in, some of the lives, right? And even after the fact, then I'm there watching in the comments anyway. So,
Right.
and then there's the pre-recorded, and everything's saved, so you can always watch it back. And then all the base course material is emailed to you afterwards, so you have it there forever to practice with. And I like to spread it out. So, I'm coming live, 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Ashley comes live at 6:30 Pacific Daylight Time. And then, of course, I switch it up and I'll come live in the afternoons as well. So we like to be available to come live multiple times, so that you guys can participate. And then, of course, it comes along with an ebook that you'll also get emailed to you as well. So here's a question. Christy's wondering, does this energy start to work on you even before you start in the course? If you signed up for the course, Christy, like I know you have, I always get yes. People tell me this a lot. They're like, stuff's starting to happen to me. I said, you signed up for the course.
I think once Spirit knows that you are opened yourself up for this course, it's like, whoop, free will. You're open to it. It's going to start saying, I'm going to start doing stuff for you.
Start lifting her frequency.
I know.
Let's start opening her channels. Let's start working with her.
Yeah. You'll start getting those little tingly goosebumps, and it's like, okay, let's do this.
Yeah. I'm just reading some of the comments. Rita says you still feel the energy in the replays as well. So
absolutely,
energy is omnipresent. So the moment you start to practice, in that moment, even if it's after the fact, they don't care. They're coming in right then and there and working with you.
Yeah, the energy is, like you said, doesn't matter when or what time you do it, it's still going to be there. It's still palpable. That's the word I want to use.
Yeah. So would you like to do some channeling of Mother Mary for everyone?
Absolutely.
So let's channel a message for everyone who's watching this. And you go ahead first, and then I'll go. And then it'll give everybody time if you want to ask a question in the comments. And we'll try to at least channel for about 10 people, if that's okay.
Okay.
And let's get ready to rumble with Mother Mary. Love it. Let's do it.
She's laughing.
Chrissy felt like she wanted to cry yesterday. Do you want to answer that question? Was that Mother Mary around, Chrissy?
Yes, she was needing to release energy. Yeah.
What is she doing with Chrissy? Enveloping her.
Yes. Yes.
Nurturing her.
She's needing to have her kind of shake her up to release her, to get her to kind of rattle her out of her stagnant.
Yeah. This is going to be real good for you, Chrissy. Okay, so I'm going to, sorry, which one did I say was going to go first, channeling Mother Mary? I forget.
I think that's what you said.
You go ahead and anybody and everyone who's watching, let's channel a message for them, and you go
Okay.
ahead with a message from her, and then I will, and then we will answer some questions.
First, she's laughing. She's laughing at the fact that I didn't believe that we were going to be here doing this.
Yeah.
But she wants to thank you, Kristin, for holding space for this, especially on this auspicious special day,
Or okay. Yeah.
Palm Sunday.
That didn't even enter my brain, but thank you, Mother Mary.
Yeah.
Keep going.
This is a time of rejuvenation for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
With all the time that we've had setbacks, we need to remember to go within, to look at the simplicities of life, rejoice in those. Remember, it's not the material things that make us happy. Look at the joy in the eyes of others. Rejoice in that with love. Look at life through the eyes of children. Release burdens that do not serve you anymore. Go forward in your studies. Support each other.
It's a lot of energy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is, yeah.
Remember, we can always call on the earth to come and anchor our energy if we need, right in the moment. She will come pull it down. I feel it's really top heavy. So the earth might need to come and help us pull it down through our vessel so that we don't get lightheaded or overheat.
Got the heat part. Because it was like the whole alphabet just went whoosh through me. I even have my rose quartz with me too. I was thinking that was going to keep me down good.
You have the rose quartz near your root chakra?
Mm-hmm.
Good. That's good. All right. Dear ones.
Yeah, I'm too jumbled at this point right now.
She's coming through me.
Okay.
Dear ones, thank you for having us. Thank you for sharing your light with others here on earth, for it is greatly needed at this time. There will be those who will, she's trying to explain that. There will be those who will dive into the chaos here on earth and be participating in that path. Do not engage. Do not focus your energy there. Focus your attention there, for they know not any different, or they know not any better. Go within, dear ones. Focus upon your inner light and bring it forth and shine it brightly for all to see. This is a time to band together, to help one another, and to lift each other's spirits up high. Thank you, dear ones. Beautiful. Okay, first question. How can we assist others with healing while we are still healing ourselves? Ooh, I love that question. Do you want to see if you get the answers to that one?
The best way is to be true to yourself. Be your authentic self with yourself and with everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Shine your light. I see you standing, like holding your light. So shine your light. It's almost like we're beacons right now. But I see us floating off, like off into space, like we're supposed to.
Lift upwards.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm. Instead of being in the
Yeah,
trenches.
exactly.
In the heaviness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Faith has a question that I'm going to answer. She's talking about some of us maybe not having a counterpart, such as a twin flame on Earth, and you know, or do we have eternally divine counterparts? Okay, so I'm gonna break down what a twin flame is for those of you that don't know, and also how the angels have described what a twin flame is. A twin flame is your energy housed in another body, and then you come together. And that's not always romantic. It can also be a relative or a friend. A soulmate is a soul from your soul group in another body. And now you connect, not always in a romantic way. It could be as a friendship or a relative. And then we have a kindred spirit, which is a soul that's from a soul group near your soul group that you incarnate with and you have lifetimes with. Again, not always romantic, okay? And some lifetimes the angels have told me through readings that we don't always, we're not always going to meet up with a soulmate in that lifetime. Other times we're meant to, or a twin flame or a kindred spirit, for example. Depending on what we are focused on in that lifetime, depending on what our soul is signed up for, right? Not always going to involve that. And okay, so in regards to Faith, would you like to relay a message for her? You are your own light.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Light that candle within yourself. Love, love thyself.
Trust.
Yeah, trust, self
Mm-hmm.
care, self love, building that light within yourself, lighting it brighter and brighter for
Mm-hmm.
all to see. Thank you very
Exactly what
much.
she just said. Oops, she just said.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you want to answer this question, I feel like Mother Mary is often with me. Is this accurate?
Have you called her in? If you've
That's
called her in, she's with you.
also, if you keep thinking about her or you feel the energy shift around you and it feels like
She's,
her, 100%.
yeah, she's there. I've now learned that.
Okay, so the next question is your mother wants to know her health status. Okay, so what in particular does she want to know about her health? I'll let you go ahead and type that. Um,
Her health. Wait a minute. Oh, which one?
so I'm just going to let her go ahead and type out a question
Oh,
that's more
gotcha.
specific.
Okay.
The more specific your question is, the more it's like anything in life.
We
If
can
you go
pinpoint
through
it.
life and you're wishy-washy about things, then that's the energy you're putting out there, and then that's what is going to come back in.
Right.
So that's why I don't take questions unless they're very specific, because I want to give and I want to relay specific guidance for you that's going to be helpful. And we can't get
Exactly.
there unless you move it in that direction.
Mm-hmm. Just like manifesting. You can't manifest wishy-washy. Full moon
Exactly.
tonight. Full moon.
Yes. Woohoo! Full moon. Rachel's asking, I call on Mother Mary for my kids. I am wondering if she has any motherly advice or guidance on what I can do for my kids to help them develop a stronger relationship with spirit. You go ahead on that one. Yeah. Susie, I'm going to let you go ahead and type a specific question.
Rachel, just be truthful with them. Don't want to use the word candy coat it. Just, especially with the timing of this video, just tell them the true story of Mother Mary. And with that, she's showing me like the flicks of what actually is leading up to Easter. Go through the story of Easter with them. I think that will actually show them a really good source meaning of it for them. Actually, it can be a good activity for with the kids too.
This next question is, can we ask for healing for other people? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. The angels love it when we send white light and just focus on the entire planet and encompass it in white light. I've done that many times. They love it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do that with people, love it. Or you can call in Mother Mary to also assist with this healing, she's saying.
Yes.
She wants to talk about your daughter now, okay? She's saying that your daughter's soul signed up to experience this lifetime in this way. And she knows that it might be hard for you to understand that, but there's a lot of lessons being learned, not only for your daughter, but for every person that is a caretaker for her, looking after her or around her. She also wants you to know that she's right nearby, so she doesn't go very far away from you and your daughter. Okay. All right, Susie's on the board. Okay, so Susie, this one's for you, Beth. I feel like I am supposed to travel alone in this lifetime. I feel strong enough to do it, but sometimes I get lonely.
And calling your angels of Mother Mary. You're never alone.
Ever.
You're never alone.
No. I used to feel so alone. I was like, well, those years were like totally with blindfolds on. Now I'm like, ding, 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 ding. Obviously, in private time, they're not going to be right on you.
No, Susie, honestly, dear, I felt very alone all my life growing up. And then when I realized that Mother Mary was literally with me every single waking moment, you were never alone, hon. Never. And if you signed up for this course, trust me, you're going to have a soul family with you the rest of your life. So
whether you like it or not.
Yeah. And again,
I'm just teasing, Susie. I'm just teasing.
But yeah, anytime you need Mother Mary or Jesus, Archangel Michael, just call their name. They will be with you instantly, and you will feel them come in.
And we've all had moments where we feel like this in life, and it can go on for like a few years. And you kind of get that, it toughens you up a little bit. And there's a lot being learned from that too.
Those are lessons.
Lessons, yeah.
But like you said, we signed up for this.
Yeah. And the other thing I'm getting is that you're an old soul. So you've had many lifetimes, Susie. And in a lot of ways, this is like an old hat to you.
It's part of our journey.
Yeah. And you got this. And you can't just go off they're talking about any relationship with anyone. or even with friendships. They have to be something particular to you, and they have to be of great benefit and value to you. Otherwise, it's not really worth your time.
Exactly.
And so they're talking about, like, unless you have a connection with others that is going to be greatly valuable and beneficial to you, it's okay to go alone for a little while.
And being alone and being lonely are two different things.
Yeah.
So,
Great point, Beth.
yeah, and it's the lonely side of it. If you have support of the soul journey side, you're never lonely.
No.
And like I said, with the support of this group, you'll never have that.
Yeah. And the other thing I'm getting here is that this is how things are now. Everything is temporary. Everything is moving in flux all the time. So remember that this is just right now. But this will shift. This too shall pass is the other thing they're saying. This too shall pass. Okay. It's not going to go forever.
Nothing's forever.
No. And I've really been taught this recently myself, because I thought, well, that's it. I'm not gonna meet anyone. I've kind of given up, and I'm a lot like you, Susie, from what they're describing. And then in came someone, and it really surprised me, and I was like, well, this is awesome. Ariel says she just woke up at 7:45 in Hawaii. Well, come on, Ariel, we're channeling Mother Mary. God. You can chat with her anytime. Ariel was in the last 2 mediumship courses as well. Long Island is here as well. Woo woo. All right. Okay, so we're going to do a few more questions.
There's Ashley. She's so sweet.
She's so cute. I'm just tuning in with your daughter now. I'm just getting a question about a pinched nerve in her.
Oh, awesome.
I don't know if you're going to specialists, but that's what they're highlighting. You need to go to a specialist. And if you don't get the answers from the first one, you need to go to another and another until you get the answers that you're seeking. There is a way to make it easier and better. Keep searching, keep seeking. I don't feel like it's ever completely going to dissipate, but you can make it better. Okay? And that isn't that the quest we're on with these physical bodies. Call Mother Mary in to help guide you where you need to go to get the answers. She's asking you to do that. What is the best way to cleanse and detoxify my body? Do you want to take that one?
Oh, the best way would be to take a salt bath, Epsom salt bath. Light some candles, self-love all the way. If you can't, yes, if you cannot do that, I would go through and you could either do some sage and just get some smoke around your body. You could take some rose quartz, hold it, go outside, get grounded, have Mother Earth transmute that energy from you.
What are some of the ways that you do self-love?
Oh, Lordy. Good Epsom salt bath. I go out in the backyard and sit outside.
Nature.
Get out in nature, get some fresh air, look at the trees. Mirror work was really hard at first.
Sure, but it's super uncomfortable because you don't feel it.
No.
And you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, I love you. Oh, yeah, this is awkward.
Well,
you know what? Do it. What happens?
What's interesting is you look in the mirror every day as you put like your makeup on and you're putting a mask on.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that for years. I was putting a mask on every day and pretending who I was. And now that I'm working from home, I've taken that mask off. So I had to really introduce myself to my new self.
Wow.
So I have this whole new identity of who I am. And my mom actually brought that up to me. She's like, I don't even know who you are anymore.
Wow.
And I thought about it and I went, my God, you're actually right. I am completely different than I was 6 months ago. My personality is different. My values are different in certain things. But yeah, I'm not the same person.
You, you,
Because I,
seem, you seem to me more open, more light. That is just a beautiful thing to see transpire.
it is. And like I said, the joy, just the sheer joy in my heart that I feel is just amazing. There's no words to put on it.
It's like life becomes an adventure of exploration, and you get excited about life again instead of the
Yes,
drudgery of the day to day, going to work, coming home. So
exactly.
there's good things that have come from this pandemic. It's not all horrible. And we can see the good things if we want to. And the more you focus in on the things you appreciate and that you're grateful for and all the good things, the more you're going to highlight those and manifest more of those and manifest more thoughts like those. So we are
Exactly.
manifestors of our reality.
If I would have never been sent home to work and have those energies removed from my daily life to actually then feel the true energies and then
Mm.
start to question what was going on with me, I would have never had the opportunity to be where I'm at today. So
It's
I am
just, I think
so
that
grateful.
you're so open and so empathic that when you're around others' energies, that affects your energy. And so now you've been able to be on your own, to have your own energy only, and now you can move in a different direction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're very, everyone's empathic. It's just some of us are real empathic.
And I did not realize how much I was until, like I said, I was just able to be on my own. But yeah, I could sit there, I could be watching TV, somebody will cry, or it'll be like a real emotional scene, and I'll just break out in tears. I don't
Wow.
want to say it's horrible, but yeah, I'm extremely open.
It's an indicator that you're very empathic. Very. It takes a lot for me to well, I'm not saying not, but if I'm watching something, I don't typically break down and cry. So I know I'm not as empathic as others. But I remember at a young age, I think I used alcohol to numb myself so that I wouldn't feel others' energy. And I didn't like what I was kind of feeling out there. So that's my way of coping.
I did that in my 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
I
the
think we all
numbing.
kind of, yeah, we have our ways of coping with stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we move and we shift.
Hmm.
Susie's saying, am I meant to travel the rest of your life alone? From what your angels are saying, absolutely not. As in, as a physical person or persons, no. Partner is definitely coming. Okay. It's just right now, we have this alone stage.
Right. And like you said, and I think this alone stage was really, it was a universal shift to
You need that.
really awake people that were meant to awaken.
Yeah, look at the whole planet, parted ways with their loved ones for a time and having a lot of more alone time than you ever did before. That's there
Mhm.
and that's purposeful for a reason. Okay, so we're going to go with two more questions.
Okay.
One question for you is, I was told that I had a past life with Mother Mary. Is that true?
I'm hearing yes.
Okay, is there any info on that? Hmm.
I'm being shown that the word volunteer is coming in my head, but it's not a volunteer. You were assistant to her.
We have these energies that channel through us, but they've been in many different vessels under many different names. because they've had many different lifetimes. So when we say, oh, have we incarnated with Mother Mary's energy? Most likely, if you feel drawn in that direction and that's really highlighted for you, but you also have to think like Jesus, for example, his energy's in a vessel on Earth right now, in India. He's told me that, and in a female. So this is Kristin this go around, and then the next go around it'll be, Barbara or Janet or something else. I don't take things too.
It's interesting, how they deliver information now, because it's like sometimes it will be like this whole big, blurb of words. Other times it would just be one word.
Yeah, straight to the point. Okay. That's all. Well, and it's all that's needed. And that's all that they want you to know.
Exactly.
The last question is, Twyla was meditating at work and she had an energy come in on her left side, and she's wondering who that was.
I'm hearing Archangel Michael.
I get masculine, and I'm going to go with what you say. Let's double check. Let's double check with a confirmation. Was this Archangel Michael? I get yes.
I got yes.
It's Big Mike. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us. And Beth, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Kristin.
Wonderful.
It's such a good time.
I'm so happy you're coming into the next course, and this is going to be even more magical and light-filled.
I'm so excited. Can't wait.
Me too. Okay. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Bye.